and that touches my tongue. And it had to be one of the most profound moments of taste in my life, that there was all of a sudden this explosion, this dynamic symphony of flavor. I mean, it sounds quite cliche, but...
And suddenly it came to my mind, there are some dishes I prepare when I'm feeling sad and blue and lonely and cold. And one of these is lentil stew. I really love lentil stew.
And I love it's like a string around the pip, and it cleans your teeth and you come out feeling amazing. I just think it's the best food ever.
Hi, this is one of my meaningful food. It's called arepa con chocolate here, and this is very meaningful for me because it's a time where I share with my family, mostly with my grandmother there. She's 90 years old, and it's a special moment that I can share with all my family all around the table every day at like at 5 p.m. all day. And it's a meaningful food because each time I eat arepa, it reminds me like the beautiful moments I am with my family and with my mother. Bye!
But when we bring the birds back and share them with others, when we participate in what we call that kai ho kai, that sharing of food and trading of food with other people, what we're doing is we're trading a part or letting people into our identity.
And I remember when my mother was coming to wake me up and she was opening the windows, especially in spring or summer, the smell of the fresh bread was literally invading the room.
My first year in college, my mom baked a bunch of cookies for me, and when I was homesick, I would just gorge on these cookies and remind me of home, and it would make me feel better no matter what.
On one of our train trips from when we were leaving Candy, we were heading up to the tea country. Beautiful, beautiful countryside, but the train was really hot. It was very, very crowded. It was sticky, but the children on the carriage with us were like, wow, you could just see, wow, we want these. So we bought a big bag of them. I was introduced to my favourite fruit in the world in a really, really meaningful way, because through the food we were able to finally engage in a really authentic way. It wasn't about people trying to see what was in our bags. It was about, let's just share some beautiful food.
I like the Dutch apple pies. I like it where the crust is just a little bit too well done, so it's a little crisp. The apple's got to be soft, and I like the contrast of the sweet in a tart apple, and then the hard crust and the soft apple. I love the contrast. And then with the hot apple pie with the cold frozen ice cream. And the ice cream's got to be vanilla, and it's got to be frozen solid.
So I have this memory of my grandmother in her blue apron making me the sandwich, and she always had Nutella in the house.
For this quest, let me take you back to my childhood, Northern Europe. I'm about 4 or 5, having my fun weekend at my grandma.
It's a memory to me because every year before the fair, me and my granny and granda and sister used to bag this up to be sold at our family stalls at the fair, so it's always a good memory for me.
There is another food I consider meaningful in my life, and it's a food I cannot show you, unfortunately. This food is something I'm sure I will never taste again in my life, and that's very sad to me. This is fried chicken.
The last and final reason, apart from the delicious taste and the memories and the evocativeness of the taste, is connectedness. When I pick the berries and make the berries, I feel connected not only with my own past and the seasons coming and going, but all the people all over the world who are berry pickers, and I think it's a group of people who have a passion for picking berries. I know in Scandinavia it's really important, and all different berries. Somewhere in the world today there's people picking berries of some variety, and it's a really special thing. So there's a connectedness with all of humanity who like to pick berries, and that goes back to when we were hunters and gatherers. So this jar of blackberry jam has a huge amount of meaning for me.
I left my hometown about 10 years ago, and I'm not sure when was the last time I ate chicken with farofa and cheese souffle. Hopefully next time I visit my parents back home, I will tell them about this video, and of course it's going to be a good reason for me to ask my mother to prepare again such a meaningful meal. Thanks.
And to this day I still try to make turkey croquettes when I can, and I try to make them as good as I remember them. And I think I probably make them about as good as they were, but they'll never be as good as I remember, basically.
It embraces my soul.